Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you find a game that just ticks all the boxes. And occasionally you'll find a game that ticks boxes you didn't even know you wanted ticked. This is Fishing Planet. And I downloaded this just to sort of check it out. I'd noticed it a few years ago and thought, hey, that looks interesting, and downloaded it, and it is now consumed 3-4 days of my life. I am in love with this game. I think it's wonderful. It looks lovely. This is a free-to-play game on Steam. It looks fantastic, and it just plays exactly how it should play. It's a fishing game. So essentially, if you don't like fishing, you're probably not going to like this. But if you do, this is the best fishing I've ever played in my life. The reason this ticks boxes for me is because I love simulators. I always have, and I always will. You will see that in the coming months on this channel. And I also love fishing mini games in other games. I've got a little spotted bass there. And this is the perfect combination of those two things. This is essentially a simulator of a giant fishing mini game. And when I say mini game, this game is by no means mini. This is extremely well done, extremely accurate to real fishing as much as possible. As much as a game could be when you're using a keyboard and a mouse. It has proper fishing techniques, like the twitch that you can see that I'm doing now, just in the right hand corner of the little bobber, going up and down now. It has stop and goes, it has lift and drops, it has just a straight draw in, when like all these are generally for lure fishing, and your bait fishing is more on a bobber setup. And I like fishing quite a lot in real life. I'm not very good at it, hence the no luck Ripduck. I don't ever catch anything, but I enjoy going and relaxing by the river and throwing a few lines in every now and again. But the way that this game does everything that it does is just wonderful. I thought I'd just get a little, hey, look at this, it's a fishing game video out of this maybe, and I downloaded it, and I'm only making this video now after I'm level almost 18 because I've just been enjoying it so much. Look, you fight the fish properly, you pull on it and lift it, and it's just so well done. All fish fight differently. They're all realistically have realistic behaviors, I guess you would say, as much as you possibly can sort of work that out. And it's just so much fun. I honestly could not believe how much fun I started having with this game once I learned how to play it, because it does have a little bit of a learning curve if you don't know much about fishing, and I'm a very casual fisherman. But once you work out how fishing works, at least at a basic level, you start understanding how the game works. And I'm currently in the free-to-play, well, not free-to-play. Okay, this game does have microtransactions, but I have found no reason to need them. And basically the only real microtransaction that's in the game, apart from sort of DLC packs where you get 5 different cool rods and whatnot and all that sort of jazz, but the only real DLC pack, only real microtransaction there is a premium account, which looked into it, basically $1 a day, or about $70 for a year, US, from what I'm aware. And all that really gives you is double XP and double money, because every fish that you catch, as you might have seen, gives you some experience points towards leveling up, and if you keep them, when you leave the area, you sell them and get the money. XP unlocks, or when you level up, it unlocks new fishing rods, gear, reels, lures, baits, all that sort of jazz. You use the money to buy new gear. and then you're buying bigger gear to catch bigger fish that are worth bigger money and bigger XP to buy bigger gear. It's a very simple concept, but the way that it's done, in my opinion, is just so good that I really just praise the way that they've done this free-to-play model. If you're sort of impatient and you want to get to big trout fishing or giant 9 kilo bass fishing or anything like that, you can by quickly leveling up from your average fish a lot faster. Or you can just play it the way I've been playing it and just enjoying my time sitting here and trying to catch some fish. Evidently enough, this is actually not just a static I stand here game. I can move around. This entire lake here, I can just wander around the whole thing and fish next to different lily pads and all that sort of thing. And even up in there, up in the bushes, there's little hidden alcoves that are right in the middle of lily pad setups and all that sort of jazz, and you'll catch different fish, like catfish and stuff like that. It's very, very nice to see, and some of you might have noticed so far that there's actually other people sitting around. And these aren't NPCs or anything like that. These are other players. This game is actually multiplayer, and you can talk to other people in the game and get tips and hints and all that sort of stuff. I've actually found that the community in this game is really nice. If you're not sure, because it is a bit of a complicated sort of thing to get used to, then they'll let you in. Like, oh, I'm not catching any bass. What lure are you using? Oh, use this lure at this time of day. And just really awesome community from what I've seen so far. I actually I was talking to a guy for a couple of hours one night, and he gave me some really good tips. And there's friends on this game. We ended up friending, and I've met up with him a couple of times afterwards, and he's a really good fellow. Title, if you're watching, how you doing? I don't know, there's just something about this game. Let me leave this beginner area. This is Lone Star Lake. This is the area where you start off. And it's always free to fish here. So if you ever start running out of money, come back, catch a few bass, catch a few little catfish, and get a bit of money back. So $269 is what I got from that. The part where it gets a little confusing, but also is what makes the game really interesting, is the shop. You have heaps of rods and reels. As you can see, there's 8 pages of these. Each one's with different line weights that they can take, and lures that they can support, and stuff like that. So if you want to catch some sort of 11-pound fish, get this, throw some 11-pound line onto it. It's some of the lines up here. It's a 7.5-pound line. Throw some of that on there, catch some 7-pound fish. The reels, once again, so many different reels, all with their own stats, different drag limits and recovery times, which is how much line comes back in as you're reeling in, and you put all that together to make a setup that will help you catch each type of fish. It's very targeted in the way it works. I would like to catch 7-pound bass, so you build yourself a setup that's for 7-pound bass. And it's just really well done. As you can see, all of this, these are like a premium currency sort of thing, but it's not. I don't think I've actually seen, so let's go into the premium shop. Okay, you can buy these bait coins. I've had no reason to. I've gotten 32 in a couple of days because you get them from getting missions and catching unique fish and stuff like that. And everything in the in here is 1, 2, 4. It's not that expensive. I can't see me, unless when I get to a really high level, needing this sort of stuff. But here are the prices for that premium service I was telling you about, double XP, double normal cash, and yeah, pretty much, guys, like, this is a fantastic version of a free-to-play model. I don't say it very often, But a game that you can play and you're not actively hindered by for having microtransactions is a good thing to do. This gives everyone a chance to jump in and play this game, and you shouldn't really have too much problem. If you're enjoying the game, play the game. If you want to speed up process, pay some money. Apart from that, I've just been playing and having fun. So this is the lake I'm heading out to at the moment. You do need to buy in the shop your licenses for each area. So I'm currently in New York. It costs some of that. You can get an unlimited one for some of those coins. But a couple of days, and this is real time, 24-hour days, guys. Our time days, not in-game days. Because you can speed up time and that would be awful. So for 3 days, I bought this yesterday because I plan on fishing at this lake for a little while because the fish here are really good XP and really good money. And I bought that, 1,700 bucks, and on average per bag load, because you can only carry a certain amount of fish back to sell, per bag load I was getting about 4,000 in-game dollars. And it costs you 2,500 or 2,350 to get there, plus the 600, so about 3,000 per bag load. I'm getting 4,000, and you can stay extra days for 500. So if you just keep staying for 500, first day you've paid back what you've paid to get there, and then every day you're just making profit. So let's head over to Emerald Lake, and I can show off a little bit of the fishing setup that I've gotten now. We're out catching walleye fish at the moment, and walleyes come out at night time. And when you buy the advanced license that I bought for 3 days, you can fish at night time. Otherwise you can only fish in the day. And you just look for these day or night. They're your peak times of where fish will be. So if I jump in at about 3 AM, I should catch a decent amount of fish. So that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to jump in. I'll show you my little spot that I like to throw my line in, and we'll get fishing. So T fast forwards time. So I'm going to fast forward time to 3 AM. I really like the game at night time too. I think it looks really nice. Not so dark that you can't see anything, but not light enough that it doesn't look like nighttime. You can just sort of stand in people and they'll just disappear. If you don't want to see their rod while you're standing here fishing, just stand in them. I like to cast out to these rocks over here. Now, the way the mechanics work in the game is you've got two separate types of cast. You've got this one, which you just throw it in the sort of general direction that you're facing. And you've also got a more targeted one. Oh, we're on already, guys. We're on already. So when you hear that tick, 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 that's your drag on your line. If anyone's ever been fishing, you sort of know what your drag is for. And you just sort of pull back on these fish when you start dragging, tire them out a little bit, and start reeling in again. This one's a little bit of a fighter. Usually the walleye aren't that much of a challenge. Not that this is a challenge, but he's having a little bit of a fight on me. So you'll see down in the right hand corner, that is my reel speed and drag. I can lower that drag or heighten that drag. If I was to up the drag now on this fish, I'd probably snap my line, because these three bars that keep going up and down, they're basically the tension on each piece of equipment: line, rod, and reel from left to right. So I've pretty much set up this rod specifically to catch these types of fish, and that's the hard part of the game to get into and to start getting your head around. But once you do, I just have hours of fun. I just sit here and I literally just catch fish for hours. So what do we catch, guys? 3.2 pound walleye, not a bad size. 278 in-game dollars and 95 XP gained. So that's sort of what you're looking at in this area. I'll show you now that targeted cast. You right click and it brings up this, and you can literally target exactly. So if you're searching for something that really likes reeds and stuff like that, you can cast right next to them. if you cast into stuff, you will get snagged and have to have a chance to break your line. So, and then you just click and click on the power where it needs to be, and you will go in. This certain fish, I've found the best success with going a stop and go. So that's just click, couple of reels, stop, click, couple of reels, stop. And it doesn't always work. You don't get a fish on every cast out, but if you are fishing at the right times with the right equipment, you're going to be on quite a fair amount. So this guy's not pulling too much. Well, now he's starting to. Just tire him out a bit. With these, I find the best way really to reel them in, just hold the rod high, keep them at the top of the water so they can't fight you that much, and give them a tug every time that they decide they want to run somewhere. And these give really good XP until later levels, going from my friend that has been teaching me a bit about the game. Been a bit of a noob myself when I jumped in. He was happy to help, and I find that really good in any game when veterans. Oh, 4.5 pound trophy. Now these are where your good XP and your good money come in, when you pull in the big poundage trophy of each fish. Most sort of fish have a trophy version of them, and they will be worth like somewhere near double XP and similar sort of money, depending on the poundage of the fish. Now you might be asking, why, Ripduck, are you playing in pounds? Being Australian, why are you not playing in metric? And that's because, and I went and double checked this today, even though we are all metric, and I understand metric and I have no idea how pounds and inches work, really, apparently we still use pounds when it comes to fishing gear. And when I started playing, I swapped it to metric, and I went, I've got no idea what any of this is. I've always known 3-pound line, 5-pound line, and stuff like that. And I went and double checked. I went to a fishing store today and checked, and yeah, most of our fishing gear is still in pounds and stuff. So you'll find different brands will do different things. Some will be metric and some won't be. But I feel more comfortable playing in pounds just for fishing. I don't even really know what it means, but it just makes more sense to me in pounds in fishing gear for some reason. Don't ask. It's confusing. I don't understand. But that's how it is. But all in all, guys, you've seen what the gameplay is. If you're gonna like this game, you're gonna like this game. It's as simple as that. If you have any interest in simulators or fishing, you're going to enjoy this game because it's just done well. It's just as simple as that. You can't argue that it's not done well. I mean, I'm sure there's other fishing games out there that are better. I have never played a specific fishing simulator before, but this one being free to play, so you can play it, I can play it, he can play it, she can play it, anybody can play this. You just have to have a Steam account, and you can jump on, and you can download this. And I have not spent a cent on this game, not a single cent, and I'm almost at level 20. I think I'm just about to hit level 18. So, and that's in like 4 days, and I'm already fishing these fish and having a lot of fun doing it. I don't think this is going to be a walleye, actually. He's not fighting like a walleye. I would say this is probably going to be a pike. I don't know much, but I have... Oh, that is a walleye, just not any sort of fighter at all. Yeah, tiny little 1-pound one. I'm going to release him. He's a little bit small for my bag, so... seriously, guys, I would recommend this game if you have any interest in either fishing or simulators or just trying out something different, which is pretty much what I did. and I don't think you'll regret it, to be perfectly honest. I'm not even far in the game. These aren't even big fighting fish, but I'll sit here for another 2 hours probably after I finish this video and keep playing this and keep catching fish because I just enjoy it. It's relaxing. Doesn't take too much concentration. You're basically just using the mouse 90% of the time and waiting for something to bite, and then you fight it. But apart from that, I can sit here and have a nice cold beer and play away on this fishing game. And sometimes I think everyone has a game that they just like to sort of unwind to. Sit down, not have to give it too much thought, and just play it and enjoy it. And to me, this is definitely one of those games. So if anyone is at all interested in this game, definitely go give it a try. But that's about it, guys. That's pretty much summing up this game in whole. There's no point talking about any major mechanics or setups and what I have and blah 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 if you're not going to actually play the game. So if anyone wants to see some sort of breakdown on gear and best sort of little setups that I've found so far, feel free to leave that in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to upload a couple more videos on that because I'm really enjoying playing it. So thanks heaps for watching today, guys. If you want to see some more on the channel, don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. That really helps out a lot. And alright guys, I will see you on the next video.